Math with Mr. Williams, example 1. Solving a system of linear equations by substitution. Solve the system by substitution. So here we have y equals 2x minus 4 and 7x minus 2y equals 5. So what I like to do is I like to box everything in. So this y is going to equal 2x minus 4, and at the bottom I'm going to substitute that y with a 2x minus 4. So let's write down this one. Now let's substitute in the 2x minus 4. So now we have 7x minus 2, parentheses 2x minus 4, in parentheses equals 5. Now let's go ahead and do our distributive property here. Okay, so now we have 7x plus a negative 2 times 2x minus a negative 2 times the 4 equals 5. So we're going to do the multiplication between the negative 2 and the 2x and the negative 2 and the 4. So we bring down the 7x. Negative 2 times 2x is a negative 4x. Minus, we have negative 2 times 4. Give us a negative 8 equals the 5. I don't like to have the adding the opposite. I don't like the minus negative. So I'm going to go ahead and change those. So we have a 7x minus 4x plus, adding the opposite, I would get plus 8 equals 5. Now let's combine the 7x and 4x, giving us 3x. Bring down the plus 8 equals 5. Now it's a simple two-step equation, so we're going to draw our line of equality. We're going to subtract the 8 from both sides, giving us 3x equals a negative 3. Divide by 3 on both sides to cancel the 3, and x equals a negative 1. All right, now we substitute that negative 1 back in to the first equation. So where there's an x, we're going to put a negative 1. 2 times negative 1 will get us a negative 2. And negative 2 minus 4 will get us a negative 6. Now what you do is you substitute both those back in the second equation. This is our check to see if everything worked out. 7 times negative 1 will get us a negative 7. Minus 2 times negative 6 is a negative 12. If we think of getting rid of our double negative here, we're going to add the opposite. Negative 7 plus 12 will get us 5 equals 5, and so it does check. So our answer in this case is negative 1, negative 6 for our solution. Math with Mr. Williams, example 2, solving a system of linear equations. Solve the system using any substitution. So in this case, we have 2x plus 3y equals negative 3, and then we have 2x equals y plus 5. So we don't have to substitute for just a variable. So in this case, we're solving for 2x equals y plus 5, and I see a 2x at the top, so that's what I'm going to substitute in. So I'm going to start off by writing down the first one. I have 2x plus 3y equals negative 3, and where there's that 2x, I'm going to put the y plus 5. All right, so we have y plus a 3y. We're going to combine these like terms, giving us 4y plus 5 equals a negative 3. Now I'm going to go ahead and move that 5 over, so I see it's a two-step equation now. So I'm going to draw my line of equality. I'm going to subtract 5 from both sides. This cancels, leaving me 4y equals a negative 8. Divide by 4 on both sides, leaving me y equals a negative 2. All right, now let's go ahead and substitute that in the second one. All right, so we have 2x equals y plus 5. The y is going to be a negative 2, so I'm going to substitute that in. We have 2x equals negative 2 plus 5. I'm going to go ahead and combine the negative 2 and the 5, giving us 3. Draw my line of equality since it's a one-step equation. Divide by 2 on both sides. And my x is going to be equal to 3 over 2, a fraction. Let's go ahead and plug both those back in to see what we have. So let's go ahead and use that first one. So we have 2x plus 3y equals negative 3. The x is going to be a 3 over 2, and the y is going to be a negative 2. So let's substitute. 2 times 3 over 2 is going to give us 6 over 2. Plus, we have 3 times negative 2 will give us a negative 6. That equals negative 3. 6 over 2 will give us 3. Now I see plus and negative here, so I'm going to add my opposite, or in this case, subtract my opposite. So I'm going to have minus 6 equals a negative 3. 3 minus 6 give me a negative 3 equals a negative 3, and that does check. So our solution in this case will be 3 over 2 and negative 2. Math with Mr. Williams, example 3, solving a system of linear equations by substitution. solve the system by substitution. So we have y equals negative 2x minus 9, and we have 6x minus 5y equals negative 19. So I'm going to solve for the y here, since it's already done for us. And that's going to be a negative 2x minus 9, and I can see in the second one, there's my y. So I'm going to substitute that negative 2x minus 9 in for that y. So let's go ahead and write down that second equation. We have 6x minus 5y equals negative 19. I'm going to substitute that y with a negative 2x minus 9. Now what I like to do in these cases where I have a negative 5 that's going to be distributed, I like to show it to myself. So instead of having minus 5, I'm going to change this to that negative 5 with that addition in front of it. This helps me see what I need to multiply by. So I have a negative 5 being multiplied to the negative 2x and that 9. So we start off with 6x plus, now we have our negative 5 times that negative 2x minus, we have our negative 5 times 9 equals negative 19. All right, so now we bring down the 6x, and we have plus negative 5 times the negative 2x will get us a positive 10x. We have minus, we have negative 5 times a positive 9 will get us a negative 45 equals that negative 19. Let's go ahead and combine the 6x and 10x. That'll give us 16x. Now we have a minus negative here, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to change that to adding its opposite. So plus 45 equals negative 19. That's a two-step equation now, so I'm going to draw my line of equality. I need to cancel out the like term here of 45. So we have minus 45 on both sides. 45's cancel on the left, leaving me 16x equals a negative 19 and negative 45 will get me a negative 64. Now I needed to cancel out that 16, so I'm going to divide by 16 on both sides. 16's cancel, leaving me x equals a negative 4. Now I need to substitute that back into the first one. So let's write it down. So I'm going to substitute the negative 4 in for the x. So negative 2 times negative 4 will give me 8. And 8 minus 9 will give me a negative 1. Let's go ahead and check to make sure it works. So I'm going to bring down that second one again. So we have 6x minus 5y equals negative 19. Now I'm going to substitute that negative 4 and the negative 1 in. So we have 6 times negative 4 will get us a negative 24. Minus 5 times negative 1 is a negative 5. I don't like the minus negative, so I'm going to go ahead and add my opposite. So we have negative 24 plus a positive 5 will get us a negative 19 equals a negative 19, and it does check. So my solution for this problem will be a negative 4, comma, negative 1. Math of Mr. Williams, example 4, solving a system of linear equations by substitution. Solve the system by substitution. So we have 3x equals y plus 8, and 3x plus 2y equals negative 1. Well, I can see the 3x is being solved for, and that's a y plus 8. So in the bottom I see that we have 3x. So let's go ahead and substitute where there's a 3x, a y plus 8. So let's write down our second one. Now we're going to substitute where there's a 3x, that y plus 8. And because there's no actual multiplication on the outside here, I'm going to drop the parentheses. So we have y plus 8 plus 2y equals a negative 1. I'm going to combine my like terms. I have a y and a 2y, giving me 3y plus 8 equals a negative 1. It's a two-step equation now, so I'm going to draw my line of equality. I'm going to cancel out my like terms, the 8 and negative 1. I'm going to combine my like terms by moving the 8 to the other side. To do that, we're going to use our inverse operation. So we're going to subtract 8 from both sides, leaving me 3y equals negative 1 and a negative 8 is a negative 9. I'm going to cancel out the 3 this time by dividing by 3 to cancel that multiplication, leaving me y equals a negative 3. All right, let's go ahead and write down the first equation this time. We're going to substitute the y equals negative 3 in now. So we have 3x equals negative 3 plus 8. Negative 3 plus 8 will give me 5. Let's divide by 3 on both sides, leaving me x equals 5 over 3. Just because it's a fraction doesn't matter. Let's go ahead and see if it actually works. So we're going to write down the second equation again. So we have 3x plus 2y equals negative 1. The x will be 5 over 3, and the y will be a negative 3. So we have 3 times 5 is 15, leaving the 3 on the bottom, plus 2 times negative 3 get us a negative 6 equals that negative 1. 15 divided by 3 will give me 5. Bring down the plus negative 6 equals that negative 1. And 5 plus negative 6 will get me -1 equals -1, and so it does check. So the solution for this system is 5/3 and -3.